Guys, live trade example coming at you. We're looking at NQ 5-minute chart. We have a couple algos open right here. We have some algo targets here for the long, 20,240, and some low algo target, just one underneath us that comes in at about 20,150.50. So I'm going to take this one on the big account here. We're looking at top step. I'm just using it to chart right now, practicing with the algos and all the good stuff that we always run here. So we have 1,750 green on the express counts this morning on top step. So those are all going fine, but right now we have a 10 SMA kind of loop area coming on here. Spent a little time under that, but two things usually happen here, and we don't have the position open quite yet. We had a couple beautiful scalps on the bottom here, which gave us about 1029 of a green P&L on the big account so far. But right now we have a big W play. Big W's come down to the center of pattern. It's one of the only patterns I play. And right now we are susceptible to one side of the algo. So what I generally do here is I wait, right? Because we have a really good setup for a long here, but we're waiting for the MACDs to confirm SPY and a lot of other little things. So what happens here is price action is right here stuck in between algo high and algo low, right? And the bigger magnet is to the high side because we have two algos open on volume imbalance that I use and one down here. So the limited risk play here is to watch price action come down into or up to these algos, okay? You don't want to play in between because you're just going to add risk. We don't know exactly which way this play is going to go. We have a stronger bias for the long side. MACD and RSI above their zero respective lines of support. That could be okay, but the algorithm magnets here generally can cause some fuss. So if we're at a double bottom, nice support area, a big W on pattern action. We're doing a 10 SMA loop on the 5-minute right now, which means if you've watched our moving average strategy, when a 10 SMA breaks back under on a 5-minute chart, spends a little bit of time under it, then we have a chance to go back over it, and it loops, right? And it'll bring us back up to those algo targets as well. So what is our risk to reward here? Well, right now at the 10, we have about 34 to the downside, 62-ish to the upside. Okay, 1 to 2, not terrible. Now, right now, so the starting point to risk, right? We would risk in this area right here, maybe one contract, because 30 points is no joke in NQ. If we see the turnaround with confirmation biased, which means the 5-minute chart here gets over that 10 SMA and starts trend above the 10 SMA, and then we can buy higher lows and then get the push, that's when we might go 3 to 5 NQs on that top side. So right now I'm in the middle of these algos as we discussed, so I'm not interested in taking a long quite yet, and we'll go over why here. Volatility index is being kind of a interesting one here this morning where it's coming into its temporary support as well, right? So we got the MACD on the bottom of the volatility index here, TOS, showing us that we have a little bit of a buy wave right there, okay? So that buy wave is going to be something that's going to be temporary support because the moving averages on the MACD came down to the center line, and they usually do a temporary bounce, right? VIX go up, market goes down. We have a gap we're dealing with here on the volatility index, and as long as we stay under 2250, we have a good shot to come down for a little bit to at least come back up to our algo targets, in my opinion. We're just waiting for the MACD on the VIX to kind of get out of our way, right? So as it decides at the zero level, we're going to get some just in-between price action right here, and I'm just not comfortable on this 10 SMA loop. The price action has spent too much time underneath the 10 here for me. The loop is 3 to max 4 candles on the 5-minute chart. That's a lot. So we have, and what I mean by that is price action opens up and closes under the 10 SMA. So if we look at a candle that does not touch the 10 SMA, that starts right here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we finally on the 7th candle have now hit the 10 SMA in the backtrack. Okay, so for this scalp to work, this needed to be a lot shorter of a sequence. We can't have, 7 candles to the downside here on a loop where it was planning to loop. It tried. Don't get me wrong. That perfect 2 to 4 candle, 1, 2, 3, and then it was looking at it, even hit a micro higher high there. You can see this candle right here, put that high in. So it's a little bit of a iffy situation. So this iffy situation calls for better risk management to the point where I would like to see an algo fill down here 30 some points before we rocket back up. That would be our best case scenario. But if we have to play the momentum, which we have already talked about here, that is trade option B, okay? So best trade A is gonna look like that. Option B is gonna look like this on that uptrend, and that's gotta be above the 10 SMA. So we're not gonna miss anything. We have to wait till it trends above the 10 SMA anyway. So we got a whole bunch of time for the price action to pop up over that 10 and then ride to the algos. or inadvertently, like we just said, coming back down. We could do it in a different color to here, and then getting that long reversal off like a larger candle, 6:30 a.m., 7 candle, something way closer to the market open within an hour, hour and a half. So that is the trade plan and discussion prior. We're going to take this one on the big account here, and I will show you how I play it. I have no positions open right now. I can see on NinjaTrader, closed out, pretty much all locked in on express counts today. All right, as we stated in our previous video, we were going to kind of wait till the chop direction was figured out here until we get confirmation, but we do have confirmation rolling in now. It is 6:05 a.m. with a brand new candle on the hourly, 30-minute, 15, 5, you name it. So that 6 a.m. Central just kind of came in here. We've been scalping back and forth just a little bit. Haven't been having any kind of follow-through trades, nothing crazy, but right now we're getting confirmation of the backside. So what that means here is, as we discussed in the prior video, we don't know which way she's going to go to the algo, but I'm assuming to the downside because that's option A for the long. But we could actually scalp this to the downside to get it now that we have lower high confirmation, right? And big things like to come in 3. So if we got 1 move, 2 move, 3 move, we have an opportunity to hit back down there to the short algo. So we're just starting to get that confirmed. So we should hop in here. Okay, big accounts in. I don't know if I'm going to chase this down with top step. We got burned on one little scalp there because I forgot I was on NQ instead of MNQ, but no big deal at all. What we can see here is we can get some top step fills along with it. I hit market order twice and only 1 filled. Cool. All right, the normal. So yeah, all we're getting is the confirmation. So 1 down right here, 2 down, 3 down. And we're looking to fill that bottom algo, like we said, would happen in option A. So we finally got confirmation. We didn't want to take any trades before, obviously, finding confirmation. You don't want to just jump in and hope for the best. But now we have at least positional value. So our position, we have a value risk. For me, stop out, right, of the highs. 30 to 31, a little bit of a 1-to-1 here, but regardless of the lower high setup, we're decent. So we're going to go for 20,152, right? So I'm going to put my orders out down there right away. I always get out early too. So if we're looking for like 152, I'll set out at like 152.53 here. So 153.50, we'll set those orders out. We got 1 cruising in the old top steppy. Oh, fancy mouse button there. So we'll watch this one play out. We have our positions entered. Not going to make you sit through the whole. All right, guys, coming back as we got the low crack as expected here. We're going for our next impulse down. So again, we're looking at that high, push down 1, push down 2, and then if it has to do 1 more to the 3 up, or 3 down rather, right? This is going to be move 1. We are inside of move 2. And move 3 will bring up the tail end, because every time we get a little fresh low like we just did here, should get sucked up a little bit, trap anybody that shorts bottoms, longs tops, same exact thing. So this low break, then we had some buy wicks back here, so we know it's a general area of a quick momentum. So what you're going to see is a low break like this. Candle's going to get sucked back up, and then it's going to try to do like a little reverse here, and it'll be our 3rd lower high. We just wanted to note that low break as we continue to target, and we should be just fine still. So again, got the low break, and continuation is set. So again, fresh low, 1, 2, and then even if it pops back to average, doesn't really matter. Maybe I'll grab 1 more, but 3. I don't really expect it to pop too much heavier, but we're not going to get the lightning wash to fill this in the 2 down. So move 1, move 2, and we're going to have to wait for move 3, the 3rd lower high to lower low, and most likely that'll be that. 6:17, so volume should be coming in the next 15 minutes here. We got a new 15-minute candle, so all right, guys, trying to do the last installment of our video here. As you see, we're coming to a nice little impulse down, so we should feel our alga. There's a couple order fills, order fills, order fills. All right, so prediction was right. Option A, or B, or A, because we wanted the dip buy, is now complete on the confirmational short. So locked in 2K on top step, 3,067 on the big one, and still only 850 across the board on the Apex accounts, but that's a pretty good morning start for us here on Monday. Now, since the algorithm has filled, that order there, I'm going to delete that. So that's all done. Now that leaves us with the 2 algorithms open above. So in hindsight fashion, we now look for the long. So this algo short was filled, and now we wait for the reset, right? So the reset is going to obviously look for something of support high or low from these 2 guys here. and then any kind of high or low in subject right around our short target, which we just got 20,150 and change. And the volatility index is looking good on the MAC. Everything else is looking a bit heavy. So regardless if it wants to leave those algos open, we made the right choice. And thanks for tuning in to the live trade example. If you want to trade with us live or in the Discord where I call this stuff out day in, day out via text, and then we